because there are many things that are not as per the agreement.
Yeah.
So if you're asking him about computation now, you will get confused because it will change. I guarantee you it's going to change next week after I talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you ask him for an answer now, your next week is going to be very hard for you to understand. So don't ask about computation of profit or billing to FP at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I promise you by latest Friday next week you will get an answer.
Yeah.
So what is your next question?
This question.
You just ask me. You're supposed to be practicing English, right? So ask me. You're doing fine, my dear. Don't worry, okay? You're doing okay. Don't worry. So what?
I recognize an appropriate point.
You again repeat that again slowly.
I recognize appropriate point. An appropriate point.
An appropriate point.
Yeah.
And okay,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah. FD cross FP 3 million, as you said me, as you said. And you said me Tuesday.
yeah. This is exactly what I'm telling you. Don't think about this now.
Oh, okay.
Don't. Because it's going to change
Oh, yeah.
next week. So I'm saying this one, wipe out of your head completely. If you ask him questions now, he will tell you the old way. Then the new way next week,
Yeah,
you will
okay,
be
I got it.
confused.
Yeah.
So don't ask anymore.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I'm talking to him. I try to explain to you so you understand how we are going to compute. But I am wanting him to change. I want him. You see, I cannot tell you to correct because I have to respect my partner
Yeah.
and tell him this is not what was agreed.
Yeah.
Because when I look at the numbers, it's not what we agreed.
Yeah.
So I have to talk to him first and say that,
Yeah.
please, your numbers are not correct.
Yeah.
You're not depreciating over the correct period of time. You're not including a lot of the expenses. You have to do that. So if you don't have time to do that, I will do it. But I cannot allow you to put in any numbers you like.
Yeah, he said me Excel format is he right. I just studied the format. The number is incorrect. You should be pay on PV, and I don't know how to do it.
To pay on PV, purchase of.
Yeah. The format. Can you understand what I?
Not thoroughly. What I'm concerned about is you are confused about PV, payment voucher. Are you confused about the process?
A process this.
No, the process from, for example, somebody whom we buy something from, a vendor, we buy potatoes from him, he will send us an invoice, she will then approve, then she will then say, yes, let's pay this amount, Philip has approved, then you write in the, the payment voucher and send over to me. I will then approve it, and in this case, if it's for me to pay, I will then pay from the bank account, and I will quote the PV number.
Yeah.
So which part do you not understand? Okay, every one of the PV vouchers, right, have dates. Okay, so depends on the point. We have to decide on the point in which it is claimed. Let's say a bill is 25th of May, but the voucher is raised on the 5th of June. That amount should be reflected in June claim. You cannot take it and put it back, because you'll be correcting all your accounts, right? So maybe we spend something in 2018. Maybe I bought a rice cooker on 2018, then I forgot to claim. So in June 2019 I claim, then it is put in the June account. You cannot take this and put back.
Okay.
Understand me?
Yeah.
But if last year 2018 Mr. Loh hasn't done all the documents, and there's a lot more, 5-6 months in 2018 that have no payment, then those you have to do according to dates. Otherwise, those months in 2018 there's no revenue, there's no expense, there's no cost. Because he didn't do, what we must now organize ourselves and say that in 2018 October, these were the expenses. In 2019, this is the expenses. October, November, December, these were all the expenses. Then you put according to the month. Until current month now, then once the system is ready, then we will start, like from now on, right? Anything that is claimed in June goes in June. Anything that is claimed in July goes in July. Anything that is paid in June goes in June. Because otherwise, how do you know? I spend something in February, I claim in July. Are you going to go all the way back to February and change the... You cannot. You have to then say, this is the thing. Then if you want, just in case people forget, you put in bracket and say, purchase in February. So the receipt is not important. It is the PV. It's the claim.
Yeah.
Actually, PV is not the claim, no? You can claim, depends. So let's say we have a claim, our expense report. So we send, it's approved. So we say, for example, my expense report. Since September last year, all my expense report have not been paid. Not 1 cent. It's about 16,000 US. So now, if you take all my ER, do you put everything in June when they pay me, or do you put according to the month? You have to put according to the month, right?
Yeah.
But in future, moving forward, let's say I forget. Oh, in June I have one receipt for September 2018. So I put it into my July claim, my July ER. That the amount you don't take and put back there.
Yeah.
You take and put in the July.
Yeah, but we will calculate depreciation in February, like.
Yes,
Yes.
you have to calculate depreciation, but
February.
capital, we only depreciate several things. We depreciate equipment and chiller and big things. We don't depreciate small things.
Yeah,
So small
yeah.
things we expense out.
Yeah.
We just spend on that month.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry. But in
Yeah.
this case, for equipment asset, for balance sheet asset management, you have to depreciate from the day of purchase. Have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are exceptions. Let's say the receipt says I buy in January 2018. Takes me 6 months to ship from China to Vietnam.
Yeah.
It arrives here in July.
Yeah.
Your depreciation begins in July.
July, yeah.
Cannot be from January.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah.
So it is not just receipt date, it's when we execute. Because sometimes different businesses have different things. For example, many companies buy equipment and then they don't use until many months later. Okay, like for example, my wife worked in an oil company. She buy equipment. The equipment sent to Singapore, sit in Singapore for 1 year. Then after that, when they open an office in Indonesia, then she shipped over there. Then the depreciation begins.
In Singapore.
No, then the depreciation begins from 1 year later. So it depends on company policy, because it depends on your business. For our business, only two things are depreciated: equipment, large equipment, even small equipment. It's not depreciated. Only large equipment and infrastructure and renovation. So renovation, we depreciate. Renovation, fix everything.
Yeah.
So whatever we spend, we must depreciate over the period of the lease. If the lease is 2 years, you divide over 24 months. If it's 3 years, you divide over 36 months. Because it cannot be moved. We cannot take the renovation and go with us to the new office. But equipment we can. So the the lease is 2 years, but our equipment we put for 4 years, because when we give back this place, we are going to take our equipment with us.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
So that's how we treat assets.
Yeah. But I see small tools also have a high cost, and we don't use it only one period, but Mr. Low treat it at the expense.
What
small
product?
tool.
What product is that? Small tools?
Small tool,
No.
yeah.
Small
tool.
tools expense.
But it 11 million. It has a high value.
Well, yes, because we buy all together. We buy all the forks, all the bowls, all the small. Each item is so small.
Yeah.
Because you saw only the bill, the number. You don't see what's inside.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
So that is the thing, because like we have to be careful. Because we agree only large equipment is depreciated.
So how much the asset cost?
We haven't at the moment, we didn't draw the line, but because for us, for FD, our equipment is very big, very expensive. For the equipment on that side, all small ovens. So one oven is maybe 2 million.
Two.
No, maybe let's say even 1 million. So they will put that in their You know, even the cover, they will put that in depreciation because that is a direct expense to it. They don't treat that as small tools. So they will put that into the depreciation, the ovens. The small oven also depreciated over 2 years.
2 years.
But then he just now his calculation is depreciate over 12 months, 1 year, right? I disagree. So I'm going to talk to him and say, no, we agreed 24 months, not 12 months.
The 2 years for
Small equipment.
equipment,
So you have
small equipment.
No. For okay, for food people, it is ovens, the small ovens,
Ovens.
the chiller, the display warmer. Okay, these are all depreciated. Okay, these are all 24 months. Food developer,
Depend on guarantee period, right? Guarantee period.
yes and no, because the warranty period is 1 year, right?
Yeah.
But no, we don't. We don't base on warranty period. And this one is the freezer,
Freezer.
4 years. I think freezer is 2 years. I can't remember. I got to check.
Chiller
For us, it is equipment, oven,
chiller room.
yeah, oven, and what do you call that? The dough sheeter, the hemispherical cooker, maybe the rice cooker, okay,
Shelf.
what's that? Shelf, no, I think shelf will expense up. I don't know, I need to check what he's put. Then of course, then is the chiller. So I need to give you a complete list because at the moment, these ones are for 4 years, and chiller I think is 2 years.
So it depends on your distinct, on your personal distinct.
Yeah, that's right. It must. No, but there's a category. This category is called equipment. This category is called chiller. But the category that for small tools, there's no depreciation. Small tools are all expensed up. Okay, but don't worry. I will clear this with Mr. Low. He's supposed to have done all of this, but and he doesn't tell me. So and we agree on something. Then he goes out, he does something else. Then I don't know until you tell me. So now I've got to go home, look at the document closely, and see what is it that he didn't do according to what we agreed. Then I will put in front of him. We'll go line by line. Once correct, then we'll come back and tell you this is how you treat everything. This is called treatment.
Yeah.
Treatment, So it's not your fault. In fact, you're asking all these questions is correct. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Because it's not clear. We didn't make it clear to you.
Yeah.
I want you to understand how I think. I feel that we need to be very clear to you. If you make a mistake because you're not clear, it is not your fault. It is our fault. That's how I manage a business. If I make things very clear to you, you make the first mistake, okay. Second mistake, warning. Third mistake, it becomes a bad habit. Bad habit you get, I will really look at you very closely and make sure you don't make a fourth, because after the fourth you're gone. Right? That is the way I see it. In accounts, don't worry, we're not counting mistakes. In accounts, you're sure to make mistakes. Sure cannot balance a little bit here, a little bit there. So it's not. Accounts is different from all my other stuff. You just need to make sure that you cannot be like the other accountant. Forget to bill customer. Then we got no money in the bank. You didn't bill. What kind of mistake is that? That's a very big mistake. And then you got no money in the bank, you don't pay the electricity bill. Third warning from the management, they want to switch off the electricity. Then we find out. You think we should be angry? Of course. Sack straight away. Because this is the most basic. How can you make this kind of mistakes? And then don't come to work every day. Sometimes go back early, sometimes come back late. Pass the job to someone else to do. When we find out, we're sure to ask you.
Yeah.
She is the director's wife. I don't care. I said no. The next time I come here, the next trip I come here, she cannot be here.
Yeah.
Obviously, I will. I will not get angry. I will not raise my voice. If you do wrong, I'll tell you. After a point, I will tell you to go. That's very simple, right? But otherwise, when you sign the letter of employment, do you understand what I promise at the bottom? I promise I'll never be rude to you. I promise I'll always listen to you. That's the agreement. I promise as the boss. Okay, I promise I'll always be fair to you. This is a company where the boss cannot mistreat any of the staff. I will not allow it. When the boss cannot mistreat any of the staff, managers cannot mistreat. There's no such thing as senior, junior. Everybody here is important because every job is important. If you are not important, it means your job is not important. If your job is not important, then why do we have the job here? And without accounts, can we run our business? Answer is no. Right? So you are not less important than the chef. You're not less important than the driver. You're not less important. You're not more important than the cleaner. You all got your job. I also have a job. I got multiple jobs. She also got a job. That's it. And to me, who is good, who is no good, is how good you do your job. If you do your job well, you are a star in my eyes. If you got a very difficult job but you do it badly, so what if you are Snowy? You got a very senior position, I pay a lot of money, but you don't do your job properly. Auntie who clean the floor, make everything very clean. I respect Auntie more than I respect you. That is how my brain works. Because if the job is not important, then we should not have hired anyone for that job. If it's important for us to hire someone for that job, we treat that person with respect. We treat that person in fairness, and we treat that person as an equal. That's it. Right? So that is our promise. In this company, that's my promise to you when you are hired. Nobody should ever shout at you. If one day we are angry and we shout at you, I will personally come and apologize to you. So sometimes you can't control, right? Sometimes maybe you get angry at me and you yell at me. I won't sack you, I will sack you if you yell at me in front of other people, because then you are undermining my authority. But if you are in a room quietly and you say, "Stupid, Philip, you're a stupid idiot, piece of shit, you don't know what you're doing," no worries. But you better be right.
Yeah.
Like for me, if I ever scold you, I better be right.
Yeah.
You understand? We're equal. I don't want you to see me as your superior and all that kind of stuff. We are equal. My job is important. Your job is important. Her job is important. We are all equal. We treat everyone the same. Right? Easier, right, to work like that?
Yeah.
Right? Rather than wondering,
Yeah.
This is very much Singapore style. Our Singapore style, we don't care your rank. We just care your job. You know what I mean? I know in Vietnam, you look at rank, you look at age, you look at sex. Oh my God.
That's why old back office.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Management in management, employee.
And then
this connection.
Yeah, and then you got employee. Then you have your employee. You got men. You got women. You got age. You got young, and you got old. Oh my God. How to manage?
Yeah.
I am blind to all of that now. I don't care whether you're 70 years old or you're 17 years old. I told Miss Khan before, I hired her, she was 17 years old. I said, let me make this clear. I'm hiring you. Your age is not an excuse. You have to do the job means you do the job. No such thing. Nobody can tell me, oh, give her a chance because she's 17 years old. I'm sorry. That's not how I think. If you think you're 17 years old, you can't do the job, then don't apply for it. Tell me you can't do the job. Come back when you're 20. That's how I see it. Right? This girl, she's so small, Snowy. Because the job, was quite a tough job, operation job. You're running around managing a lot of men and all that. I told her, I don't think you have the stature, you're the size, you have the command, presence, and all that. She said, you give me a chance, I'll show you I can. That's why I hired her. We have more qualified people to do the job, but I hired her because she said she answered the correct question. Same thing for you. You want to know why I hired you now? You want to really know the reason. Because you have what we call a can-do attitude.
Yeah.
There's nothing you won't do. You will say, can do, I will do it, I'll try.
Yeah.
That is important. When you're young, you have to be that way. I have some staff downstairs who refuse to change. It's okay. They're doing a particular job. If they refuse to change, no problem. Right? But you, everything I will try. Good. That's why I hired you. You think I don't know your English is not that great? You think I don't know after talking to you for 15 minutes that your accounting background is very shallow?
Yeah.
But I hired you because I think you have the correct attitude. That's it.
Yeah.
And Mr. Low agrees.
I think so.
He likes you, but I want you also. You see, I have a management responsibility for you. He has a functional responsibility. So if he feels you cannot perform the function, he will still tell me to get rid of you, I want you. So you must be able to fulfill the function. You must be able to do the job. I'm managing me. I make sure I remove obstacles for you to get your job done. So have you taught them all the right or wrong thing? Did you tell them you must do a test, you must do some test samples, in 5 days time?
I have an innate talent of public speaking,
Is it innate? Are you sure it's innate? You know what's the meaning of innate?
Innate means that you born and you already have it.
The natural.
Yeah.
It's a natural talent. She also has another innate talent. She's very modest.
I should ask you to join for fun.
Yeah, you try. I look at it. What am I doing here? Okay, but so I'm just explaining to her that there's some stuff that Mr. Low and I need to. It's our fault. It's not you're slow. It's that we haven't clarified things. We should have clarified things. So this, because we are not clear ourselves, so we have made you confused. So it's not your fault. And I will make sure he understands that. Okay, that it's not your fault. But you really need to help me brush up my English, because I'm